Over the years, AFTV, formerly Arsenal Fan TV, has become one of the most polarizing fan media platforms. From viral fan rants to serious analysis, it has had its share of internal drama. Among the names that became synonymous with AFTV are Turkish and James, often referred to as James B. In recent times, fans have speculated and debated, why did Turkish leave AFTV? And what about James? Today, we'll dig into what is publicly known as of October of 2025, what's confirmed, what's conjecture, and why these departures matter for the future of AFTV and fan media more broadly. To understand why Turkish or James might leave, or be pushed out, it's vital to look at AFTV's evolution, its internal structure, and the tensions inherent in turning a passion project into a business. AFTV launched in 2012 under Robbie Lyle, initially as a grassroots fan platform for Arsenal supporters. As it grew, it began hiring regular contributors and structuring around personalities. Over time, contributors such as Turkish, James, Cecil Thomas, Julian, Troops, and others became faces of the channel. But as with many media ventures, tension often arises between creative freedom and brand control, between critical voice and commercial interests. Observers have suggested that these tensions lay the foundation for departures of high-profile contributors. Before we examine Turkish and James specifically, it's helpful to note the pattern. Earlier AFTV names like Claude and DT also left under contentious circumstances. That context suggests that changes in contributor lineup are not new to AFTV's narrative. Let's turn to Turkish. In October 2025, media outlets noted that Turkish had left the channel. But the public record is vague. AFTV or Turkish himself did not release a full, detailed statement confirming reasons. Turkish had been considered one of the more passionate contributors. His commentary was often emotive, critical, and reflective of fan frustrations. The article, From Claude to DT to Turkish, The Rise and Fall of AFTV's Originals, suggests his departure is illustrative of the broader shift in AFTV's identity and priorities, from friend-making content to a more structured business environment. That article argues Robbie Lyle, as the founder and face of the business, must balance maintaining his brand, sponsors, advertisers, and creative control, which may limit how far contributors can diverge. Some fans speculated Turkish's departure was tied to disagreements over editorial direction. A Reddit thread suggests Turkish isn't towing the company line of toxic positivity. That is, he may have frustrated brand management by being too vocal or too critical in ways that conflicted with AFTV's commercial interests. There is no credible report that Turkish was dismissed for misconduct or violation of policy. There is no official clarification that Turkish left purely on his own. It might have been mutual or influenced by behind-the-scenes disagreement. It's unverified whether finances, creative autonomy, or contractual constraints were key triggers. Turkish's departure may represent a tension many media platforms face. How far can fan voices push when the platform becomes a commercial enterprise? His exit may signal to other contributors the degree of freedom, or limitation, they might have. In sum, while the publicly available evidence points to a likely clash of interests, creative versus brand, the specifics remain largely private. The situation with James, often known as James B on AFTV, is more ambiguous. Publicly, he himself said it in a show without giving an explanation as to why. But there are clues and patterns to examine. James B remains listed as an author on AFTV's website. His articles on player ratings and match analysis continue to appear. He appears in collaborative media, such as podcast appearances like the Gunnar Talk. His latest presence seems less frequent in high-profile studio discussions or headline videos, compared to former peak times, which has led to speculation among fans. Some fans have speculated he may have distanced himself or been sidelined due to internal shifts in direction or personal priorities. No reliable reporting indicates a conflict or issue forced his exit. It's possible James continues to work in some capacity, but perhaps with reduced visibility or under different terms. Hypotheses worth considering are: like gradual phasing out. It's common in media platforms to shift contributors into less visible roles or transition them toward writing, behind-the-scenes roles, or external projects. Given James' writing presence, this is plausible. Or it could be editorial direction shift. If AFTV is realigning its style, focusing more on viral reaction content, stricter branding, or more controlled narratives, contributors whose tone or style don't align may be subtly marginalized. Or personal priority. Many contributors balance multiple commitments. James might be investing more time elsewhere, reducing his availability for video production. As AFTV grows, contracts, revenue sharing, and roles evolve. Contributors may accept or reject new terms, leading to natural attrition. Because the public record is silent, any claim about why James might leave must be framed as possibility rather than certainty. The absence of a clear departure gives AFTV flexibility in narrative control that they don't have to explain or defend. It may lead fans to feel disengaged if voices they liked fade, which can affect viewer loyalty. It underscores the risk for media creators in balancing brand control with contributor autonomy. Putting the Turkish and James cases side by side, several patterns and tensions emerge. As a platform that began as fan-led, AFTV now must manage sponsors, advertisers, and brand image. This sometimes conflicts with raw fan expression. Turkish's departure likely signals the pushback side. James may have been quietly done. Some observers suggest that to stay relevant and grow, AFTV may lean more towards sensational reaction content or tightly edited studio shows rather than open, messy fan debate. Contributors less aligned with that could find themselves sidelined. Monetization pressures. As platforms monetize, contributors often move from volunteers or passion-driven work to paid positions. Payment, contracts, and revenue share become new fault lines, decisions about who gets paid, for what, and under what constraints. While we don't have transparent data on AFTV's internal payouts, this is a usual pressure in media ecosystems. The audience of AFTV is diverse. Some want fiery criticism, others want balanced analysis, some want positivity. Balancing these often contradictory expectations is hard. Contributors who are perceived as too negative or too soft risk criticism. In the Reddit sphere, for example, Turkish and James are sometimes praised as level-headed compared to others. Neither departure was accompanied by a full public explanation, which is common but problematic. The vacuum invites speculation, rumor, and internal distrust. Ultimately, these departures illustrate the challenges any fan-led media platform faces when scaling, maintaining identity, preserving contributor voices, and managing business imperatives. So, what do these departures, real and speculative, mean for AFTV, its contributors, and the broader fan media space? Departed creators may launch their own channels or migrate to independent platforms where they retain full control. This could fragment the fan commentary ecosystem or lead to more authentic voices outside the AFTV umbrella. AFTV may double down on a core team whose voices align with its strategic direction, reducing volatility from frequent contributor changes. Some fans will be disappointed at losing diversity of voices, others may welcome tighter editorial consistency. How AFTV handles transparency, explaining changes or giving space to voices, will influence trust. The case of Turkish and James is a cautionary tale. Any creator involved in media tied to a brand must negotiate boundaries, expectations, compensation, and creative rights from the start. What we don't expect is sudden reappearances under the same terms unless public reconciliation is made. Full internal financial transparency, rare in media. Definitive statements from AFTV or contributors unless they choose to withhold them. In the end, the exits of Turkish and James are more than just personnel changes, they reflect growing pains in fan media's commercial evolution. While fans will continue consuming commentary, the line between passionate voice and brand-managed voice will only become more sharply drawn. Those voices who stay, or those who leave, will define what kind of fan media emerges next. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, like, comment your view on Turkish or James departures, and subscribe. See you in the next video.